Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building a very large farmhouse for the new Cottage living pack. Now yesterday I built this, and it was the second thing that I made. The first thing that I built with the new Cottage living pack. I built this after I had finished yesterday's video and got that all done and on YouTube and stuff like that. And so obviously the first thing you should always make with a pack is a ginormous mansion I hadn't even looked at any of the stuff yet. I had cleared the golden shine off of all of the new stuff that it makes it yellow when you have a new stuff. That drives me crazy, so I got rid of that, but I didn't look at any of the stuff. So I went into building a huge mansion without looking at any of the things first. So that was really fun. It's kind of empty on the inside. I really don't do well with building mansions. It's not even that big of a house. It's just bigger than a normal house that I would make, so it's definitely very awkward. I also was really struggling because I was trying to find a reference photo to maybe inspire me to build something, and I could not find one that was bigger than itsy bitsy. So I don't really know if I was just not searching correctly or what my issue was, but I could not find a reference photo, so I just had to start building. And it actually turned out really well. I really liked the front angles that I took for screenshots. I thought that was really fun. And I just put a big farm area on the side of the house because this is a big lot. I don't know what the size of the lot is. I think it's a 50 by 40 or something like that. It's big. And I don't normally build on lots that are this big because as I said, I do not do well with mansions because they end up looking odd. So I think this one didn't end up too bad, though. But you also see that the foundation trim, I had a lot of difficulties figuring out which one that I wanted to do because I obviously couldn't pick a stone or any of the brick ones because that would have looked weird because obviously the entire farmhouse is this brick. There is no variation anywhere on the entire house. I could have probably put some, but it kind of looked good with it just the same thing everywhere. But I couldn't pick that for the foundation, and there's not any new foundations with the pack that I know of unless I missed them entirely, but I don't think there is. And so I ended up using this one from Get Famous, I think. And so it looks good, and it matches the trim and the wooden border that I was using for the fences and the columns and stuff. So I thought that was good. Also, there's these wood I don't know, they look like wood poles that are sticking out of the house. I don't know. They're in base game. You'll see them. I'll put them in the front. I don't know if they are there yet. I put them in every one of the quarters of the house of the roof, and I thought that looked good because that kind of fits the vibe, old kind of countryside kind of house, and I thought that was fun. Also, the I don't know, the vines thing that came with this pack, I feel they're really good looking, but they're kind of hard to use because they want to snap up to different areas, not where you want to put them, so it was a bit difficult there, and also the sizes are kind of funky, but that's also because I was making weird shaped house, or not out the house, but the area that I was putting on was kind of strangely shaped. But I thought that was fine. I also had some issues with the windows. They're oddly small. The windows are very small, and for a very large cottage farmhouse thing that I'm building here, the windows were very small and they kind of looked out of place. So you may have seen that I was kind of struggling with that. And I was just all around being kind of they don't fit because I feel they needed to be bigger. And so I spent a lot of time looking at the windows and doing all of that stuff because I just needed them to fit more so, and they just weren't, but I did figure out it eventually. Also, you'll see when we get into the furnishing of the house that I didn't do the living room until very last. That was the last thing I had done. I had literally forgotten. I didn't really forget because it was in my mind do the living room, but I just kept moving on to different things. And I full on did all of the bedrooms downstairs and then the bedrooms upstairs and then did the farm area outside, I think, even before I got to the living room. I don't know. I think I actually did maybe the living room, or not the living room, the farm area before I furnished it, but I don't remember. But it also took me 2 hours to build this, which is a lot longer than I normally do, but I also know that that's a very short time to build a mansion. I build quite fast, but I did this in 2 hours, so this recording is sped up by 900%, It is very quick. It is sped up very quickly, because I didn't want to be talking forever, because like I've done 15-minute videos for voiceovers like that before. Will not do again. That was horrible. I cannot do that. But I like keeping it in the 10 to 12-minute range with my voiceovers, because that's like doable and I can talk for that long. But I was not having like no 15, because I sped it up with the normal like 600% that I normally do, and it was like 20 minutes long. I'm like, no, ain't doing that. So I sped it up to 900%, and this is just what it went to, and so it's, I think, about 10.5 minutes, almost 11, I'm not sure. But it was really fun. I liked building with the pack. I think everything except the windows was really cool and was very like easily usable, and I thought that was fun. I also put the milk jug that's base game in the kitchen. I thought that was funny because, you know, the milk for the cows. I don't know what the actual like milk from the cows looks like because I haven't played with this at all. It did come out yesterday, so I have time, and I'm gonna probably play with it a bit today in my spare time. But it was really fun to do that. But I guess that's about it for the build, so I'm going to go into today's like topic, kind of talking. So I had talked that like the other day, I don't remember when, it's not that important, you don't need to watch that voiceover before this one, but I talked about how I put a shelf, like a bookshelf, out into my room, and it had an empty shelf at the top, so I did finally put stuff onto that top shelf at 10:30 last night, because I don't sleep. Obviously that's, you know, that's not necessary. So I filled it up at 10:30 last night. I put some books on it, and then I have a ginormous seashell. I don't know if it's real or not because we got it at an antique store, so no clue, but I have a giant one, and I put it on that shelf along with some old books, and then I put like the really bad candles that I made in pottery class last year, I guess at this point. I put that on the shelf, and I just put like stuff like that onto that shelf, and it looks pretty good. It kind of made the other bookshelf that I had kind of empty kind of looking, but I'm going to try and like switch that up a bit later today, probably when I take a break to do something. But as I said, I did that at 10:30 last night. I was up until 1 yesterday. I was tired all day long because I had made 4 videos yesterday, which it was a lot of fun, but I was exhausted all of yesterday. I was so tired. I was just can't wait to go to bed all day. And then about 9 hit, and I was like, oh, I have energy now. And it was so annoying because I wanted to sleep. Like, I was like, I need to sleep. I'm going to go to bed early, and then I can get up tomorrow and be all fine. But then I didn't get to bed until 1. I turned all of the lights off at like 11:30, so like it wasn't that bad. But I was like energetic until 11:30, and then I went like into my bed, and it takes forever for me to get to bed. But I had like a bunch of energy from like 9 until 11:30, so I was doing things. Like I cleaned up my room. My room's not that messy to be cleaning anything up, but I did the shelf. I moved a couple things around. You know, that's about it. I guess I don't really remember what I was doing last night. We just, you know, cleared that out of my mind. I don't need to remember any of that. No, that's not necessary. But that's just what I was doing late last night. I didn't do literally anything other than make videos yesterday because I was having so much fun, and I just kept building. Like, I built this yesterday. My hand was like dying after it because my hand like cramps when it's on like the mouse. It's really fun. But then I built another thing yesterday night. Yeah, my arm was not having a fun day yesterday, but it's better now. We're all good. But I was just really tired, and then all of a sudden it was just like, no, you are gonna be very, very, very productive for the next hour and a half or 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's how math works. So it was really fun. I made my bed 3 times yesterday. That was also really fun because I made it in the morning, and then I messed it up during like lunchtime, I think, because I like jumped on it and like it messed it up and stuff like that. And then I got into bed at like 8:30 to like relax and like do stuff, and I was just laying in there, and then obviously I got energetic, and so I messed it up again, and so then I made it, and then I finally went to bed. So it was really fun. I make my bed daily, so it wasn't that big of a deal to make it 3 times yesterday. but you know, it's really fun to do stuff like that. But also, I cannot believe that I made 4 videos yesterday. That does not feel real. Like, I made, well, I did like 4 builds, but I made like 4 voiceovers yesterday, and I was like dying. I was like, don't talk to me. I do not want to talk. I was not talking like most of yesterday. I was like, don't talk to me. My voice hurts. My voice, my arm, and my back hurt yesterday. And also, my tailbone hurt yesterday, and I've talked about that. I've fractured it before. Like a couple times, fun times, but it was also having issues because I was sitting for so long, so that's definitely an issue. I had to go stretch my back and like stuff like that so that I wouldn't have to go to the doctors again, because that is not fun. We do not need to re-injure ourselves by sitting, because can you imagine, you just like, I hurt my tailbone again from sitting too long. That's embarrassing right there. So we fixed all of that, and I walked around for like 20 minutes, and it was better, and so we ain't doing that again. So we're gonna just get up every so often now and hope that I don't hurt myself, which is good. But I guess that is almost the end. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did like today's video, if you want to see more cottage living stuff in the next couple days. But as I said, it is almost screenshots time, so I post a new video every day of the week, so you can watch another video tomorrow. Bye!